Hi everybody, welcome to Gray's Stone Carving Studio. My name's Henry. This is the last in this series about carving tools. We've got another series on masonry, how to use masonry tools, which you can find here somewhere, or will find here somewhere, because we're in the process of filming it. To kind of finish off this series, I wanted to talk about tool maintenance, or how to look after your kit, really. Probably not like I do is the short answer, although I do know people who have kept their tools in leaky buckets and then poured them out all over the floor and then picked up the one that looked all right and then used that. So people have got different approaches to tools, and I also know somebody who looks after their tools so carefully. They keep them in these tool rolls and they're always very sharp and well looked after, and he has an engineering background, so I'm not surprised that he does that. And he also he just looks after them really beautifully, and it's a pleasure to watch, really. So what I would say is keeping your kit in masonry chisels aren't like wood carving chisels. They'll never be as sharp. They're not designed to be as sharp. So they're a little bit more robust. So people tend not to treat them quite as delicately as you would a wood carving chisel. Saying that, we do use wood carving chisels on soft stones, but obviously we don't sharpen them as sharp as you would with a wood. Oops. So, as I said, your tools will need sharpening kind of reasonably regularly, and it depends on the material that you're using and also the chisel that you've got. So fire sharps tend to need fire sharps or tool steel on their own need sharpening more often. And the noise is there. The workshop's on a farm, and we've got some guys hedge cutting down the road, so that's any background noise, that's that. And tungsten chisels need sharpening less often, but if you're using sandstone, it can abrade the tungsten really quickly, and so you might even find yourself, so I would find myself sharpening, if I'm letter cutting on York stone, I probably sharpen my chisel after every letter, normally. Depending on how fine the lettering is. So this is a tungsten letter cutting chisel. Actually, I'll do a whole series on letter cutting and letter cutting chisels later. This is a letter cutting chisel because you can easily see it, and it's half inch ish, a bit more 14, 15 mil. And to sharpen chisels, masonry or stone carving chisels aren't sharpened like wood chisels are like that. They have a flat and the bevel, and masonry chisels or carving chisels for stone are like that. And this angle. Can you move to the side of it? Yeah, certainly, sorry. This angle, so wood chisels are like that, masonry chisels are like, or stone carving chisels are like that, and the angle, this angle, changes dependent on the material you're using. So you will change that, and I would, if I'm moving from a hard material to a soft material, I'll go on to the bench grinder and I will change the angle of it. So is that right? Is that good? Okay, cool. And so that's not going to help. So what we use to sharpen, unless you're doing a kind of big angle change or going through the whole bunch of chisels, in which case I'll use the bench grinder, and then I'll finish with this. If it doesn't need that, what we're doing is we're finishing and burnishing this. And we use quite a fine diamond pad, and I can't remember what speed it is. I think this is I say what speed, you know what I mean, what grit it is, what grit. what grit it is, but I'm using this one because I like it, because it's the one that comes to hand. I go, that feels nice. And we use water as a lubricant, and what I'm just going to spread the water out, and this is impregnated with diamond. Can get that out of the way. Impregnated diamond, and it abrades this, and it braids the tungsten. So, and to get the angle right, you can often test that with the meniscus. A little bit too much water on it. You can test that with the meniscus, with the meniscus of the water. So, there, that is the angle that it's supposed to be at, because the meniscus in the water kind of changed. Got it there. So, and then the idea is to keep your elbow level, so like a snooker. Yeah. So you don't want to be rocking it. Yeah. You want to keep it level. Yeah. And then you check it, and you see whether it's going off skew, because you can tell that it'll kind of go downhill. It'll kind of the brays. You'll see the brays kind of moving diagonally downwards. So you try and keep that, and try and keep that parallel with the front of the chisel. Keep checking. So if this was if I was a really soft stone, then I would have a much more acute angle like that. But as we're probably going to be cutting Portland, I've got this angle, which is kind of medium. I'm sure you can get kind of gadgets that hold the angle. I know you can get gadgets. I watch people who do knife sharpening on YouTube. They got some amazing bits of kit, but don't know whether you can't see it from over there. But this angle's slightly like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit of weight on this side to take out. Even up. There we go. That's even, and that's sharp enough. It's not particularly sharp. I mean, it's not going to. Well, you have to work at it cutting you. It will cut you, but you've got to work at it. Tungsten is a bigger molecule than tool steel, and but that edge will hold longer than tool steel will when you're dealing with things like materials like Portland. That it? Yeah. Store your kit where you like. Oh yeah. Any questions? Put in the chat. There'll be links in the chat to stone carving courses. Yeah, or if you want to discuss a project or think about it, just I'm sure my email will be down there as well. You can email me, and if I can help, I will. If not, I'll pass you on to somebody who can. So yeah, have a good day, and that's the end of this section of thingamybobs. So we'll do another one on another thing later. So yeah, cheers.